Hi, I'm Grant, and welcome to Digression Bar Episode 8. I am joined by...
I'm Ellie.
I'm Andrew.
So this is Ellie, longtime listener, first-time podcaster. So I guess it is out of the way, Ellie is my younger sister.
Yes.
So what's your YouTube name that you always comment with? Because you comment a bunch.
I'm Red L.
I really like that, but you don't.
You're the one who came up with it.
I think that's a good, handle. I really like my handle. I wish... taken for granted, I like, because if you didn't know, my last name starts with a D, so it's Grant D. But I hate people, people accuse me of just, being edgy, because they think I'm just being I'm taken for granted. My parents don't love me. But I really like yours, because yours doesn't have that issue, but still is interesting. And I like yours, which is, do you want to say yours?
Trick or treat?
Yeah.
It's my gamer tag that had a long evolution of becoming what it was. Because first it started out with Triangle, and then one of our scout mates thought I looked like a Kevin, so he wouldn't stop calling me Kevin. And then I evolved into Kevin Triangle, and I was like, see, that's weird. Why not just call him Trig for trigonometry or trigonometry? And then trigonometry obviously was taken on as an Xbox Live profile because that's in basic names. What if I just cut out just get rid of so it'd be trig, or in-nom. So it'd be trigonometry instead of trigonometry.
I know my Xbox Live name is Red Short, and I remember because a lot of people call me Red Shot, or they're like, why would you ever come up with the name Red Short? I remember you got an Xbox Live when we were kids, and I really wanted one, so I sat there and tried to make one, and all my names were taken. So my mom's like, you're wearing red shorts. Why don't you call yourself Red Short? And so I did.
Wow.
And that's the story of my name.
I love asking people the reasons behind their names. But occasionally you get the guy who takes the default. Because if you're on Xbox Live or a lot of places, they'll just say, okay, we need a random name. Just grab 2 dictionary words and a number. And that's how you get really weird with things I don't know, Purple Apple 5. It's is there a reason that really stood out to you? But some people just honestly don't care. But I always like to hear those little stories. So Ellie, one of the things that you said was surprising, and actually is something you didn't understand that we complain about constantly, is all the static electricity.
Yeah.
Normally in the summer we have this issue where it gets really hot when we record stuff like this, because I have to turn off the AC, because even though you get used to it in the room, when you hear it on the podcast or on a recording, it is just extremely loud and you can't drown it out. So I thought, the winter's going to be great. We don't have the heat. If it gets hot, we just have to open a window, which isn't as loud. And I can open a window in another room. It still works. Turns out the opposite we have now is just tons of static electricity. And it's constant. If you move at all, you just charge up and you can just feel it. I know a couple podcasts ago, I was just sitting here, just all of my hair was on end. Just because if I touch anything, I'm going to get zapped. Which counts, especially all these cameras. I constantly have to keep adjusting. Let me just zoom in. It's ow, ow. So yeah. But yeah, Ellie, what do you think of the podcast? You're I think one of the main consumers. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so.
I like the podcast. I do. I like listening to it. I usually listen to it while I play video games, and
so it's pretty good. So you built up a list of counter arguments. To come back?
I did.
Do you want to hit us with one of those?
I did.
BLTs right now.
Hold on.
Okay, I had a BLT before I came here, and it was delicious. And
did you make this BLT?
I made it, but our dad made the bacon. He cooked the bacon, which was cooked in the microwave, and it was. What's that?
Ruin the bacon.
No, it was delicious. Because, I've seen this on Reddit before, and people, the way you make bacon for a BLT, it's not the way you make it when you eat it with eggs or something. And the crispy bacon is really the way to go.
No, you make the crispy bacon when you eat it with eggs.
So you like crispy bacon?
No, I don't. I like limper bacon because it's juicy. But you turn it into a cracker. And just shreds.
But it tastes so good that way. It gives the sandwich a good crunch.
You don't even have to cook bacon at all for a BLT. It's already cured. You can just put it on the sandwich.
I'm not going to eat cold bacon.
It doesn't have to be cold, but I'm saying you have that whole range and you just choose the highest possible range. That's just fuck it up. Why? You have this entire thing.
And you know what? It's fun. Crackers are fun to eat. Bacon crackers are fun. It's delicious. And you're wrong.
It's the rest of it, because you basically let's take some bread. Let's turn that bread into just a pile of crumbs that's stiff because it's
not
overcooked.
A pile of crumbs. It retains its shape.
Yeah. It doesn't fall apart, but it's just crumbles constantly. Just all of that fucking ash.
But then, but you need the crispiness, because then when you bite into it, if it's not crunchy, then you pull the whole string of bacon out with one bite, and then that doesn't work.
No, just bite all the way down.
No, because then you got to grind it, like to get the
Ellie,
bacon off.
you're that kid who at camp goes and like sticks his marshmallow in the fire and like completely burns up. And he's like, "No, I like it this way." You're that kid because they don't want to admit that they just ruined their marshmallow. Oh no, I like it burnt. It's better that way. You know that kid. Like, there's always that kid.
No.
Yeah.
I know that kid, but when I don't like ordering BLTs at restaurants because they don't make the bacon crispy enough and it doesn't taste good.
And that's for crispier. You have like crackers. Like it's one thing for like crispy bacon. This bacon shouldn't be just like.
When is the last time you've even eaten this bacon? You don't even know what it's like.
Well, yeah, I don't live with my parents anymore, so I'm not forced to eat these BLTs.
They're delicious.
It is. So take like whole wheat bread, which is fine, and then just like, you know, all those settings on your toaster you never use because they're way too high. Just go like to 11 on that. Just like that's like do that like the one time it's for this sandwich.
That I wanted to refute was the toast. You say I burn my toast. I do not burn my toast. Sometimes our dad burns his toast, but I do not burn my toast because I cook it first.
Okay.
And the reason sometimes the toast gets burned is if you cook it after another person and you don't lower the setting, then it gets burned. But I do not burn my toast.
Okay, I'll take your word for that.
That was another thing you brought up.
So take that with all your burnt toast, or maybe illegitimately burnt toast, and what you're going to do is you are going to put just some really freezing iceberg lettuce.
It's not freezing.
It's like freezing out of the fridge. Just pop it there, and of course it's not like well cut, so it's got like a bowl shape. So no matter how you put it, it's just going to be annoying, right? Because that's what iceberg is.
Well,
because getting a flat lettuce, that'd be dumb, or like cutting it in half. No, bowl. So you're always wasting just cold air in your sandwich, and then tomatoes, which have also been in the fridge. So you're just basically slopping those on. They're soggy as hell, and then in that like paste of wet tomato, bacon crackers. And then
you put the bacon on first, mister. Get it right.
It doesn't matter if you put it on first or last.
It does.
The only difference is you could just flip the sandwich over.
He has a point.
It's still okay. Here's the thing: I'm not the one who does the grocery shopping. I literally BLTers are the only time our family ever eats lettuce or tomatoes. So
don't say our family because I do. I have some over there. I have a whole bunch of veggies in my fridge.
And so you can't.
They don't eat it because it's bad. They ruin it.
I agree with the tomatoes. I agree the tomatoes should not go in the fridge, but I'm not the one who buys them, so I don't have any control over that.
All right, so you do all that, and then do you put anything else on it? Any kind of like sauce?
I put mayo.
Mayo, okay. That's fine. And then I assume you butter it and do all that for grilling. Do you grill it?
No.
No, okay.
I do eat it with a side of bacon, though.
Can I chime in here?
Yes.
Crunchy bacon can be good, but not charcoal.
It's not burnt.
Yeah,
There's no black
it's burnt.
on it.
It's burnt.
There's no
That's what I'm saying.
black on it.
It can be like dark, but this bacon is like bacon that if you just held it on the end would like break because it can't support its own weight. That's what I mean. It's that dark.
No, it's not. How do you think I put it on the sandwich then?
You put it on first because it's gonna break.
But it doesn't break under its own weight.
If you hold it from the center, that's the easiest way to hold it too.
My point is, that's how burnt is. It's not like a crispy bacon that's just like well done. This is burnt to the point where it's shriveling and cracking apart. That was my point.
It's delicious.
Sounds like some of the specialty bacon from Heavy Kitchen. When the people are like, I want burnt bacon. No, I don't mean well done bacon. I mean burnt bacon. You're like, okay,
yeah,
fine.
I mean, I get the taste. It's just I don't see the point with the sandwich. I just don't get it.
Yeah, I think it's great.
It's a terrible sandwich.
You're a terrible sandwich.
I am a terrible sandwich. You're a terrible sandwich. You're in the middle.
You're a terrible. That's true.
All right. So, yeah, I guess maybe I haven't had a sandwich in years. So I admit maybe how our dad makes them has changed. But I believe there are way better ways to make a BLT. Or you can just make a better sandwich.
No, BLTs are delicious. What better sandwich is there other than a BLT?
Get some like ham,
Nope.
turkey,
Nope.
chipotle mayo would be good, salt, pepper,
Bacon is
lettuce,
the most
tomato,
flavorful.
onion.
Nope.
What?
Nope.
God, crazy. Make a wrap.
Two of the
Boom.
items you just said are in the BLT, and
Well, there's also bread. I'm not saying the components are bad, like all together. It's like that.
No, I'm agreeing with you. She was saying no, but you just were talking about eating that.
I'm just saying, or you're saying like you told me, and like I read an article that actually iceberg lettuce is the best choice, and like bullshit. Here's like Gordon Ramsay. He doesn't use fucking iceberg lettuce on his BLT.
I will admit,
he uses baby lettuce.
I will admit, you did send me the video of Gordon Ramsay, and I will concede that if Gordon Ramsay doesn't use it, romaine lettuce might be better.
Well, I don't necessarily romaine, but I'm just saying I hate like. I
don't think
iceberg.
he actually used romaine. He used some sort of.
He used baby leaf lettuce or something.
Like
That's what he called it.
He also wasn't technically making a BLT, but it was pretty similar.
He said it was the best one in the video, just in general.
Is he the one that like has that like dumb meme about like grabbing two pieces of bread and putting it next to the head? Like, what are you?
An
idiot sandwich.
Yep, I've been watching a lot of Gordon Ramsay lately. He's pretty entertaining.
You love it. When I like sent you that video, I just kept watching. It's like it's
I
interesting.
know, it like sucks you down a hole.
Yeah, because I don't watch a ton of cooking shows, but I enjoy cooking.
Does he do that a lot, or did he just do that like once?
I think so.
His signature tagline is like calling things raw. He's like, it's raw. It's fucking raw. That's like what he says 12 times during Hell's Kitchen.
I think his American version of the Hell's Kitchen, like he plays that up, and that's definitely edited for him to be more like that because it's his character. But I don't know. I don't watch him.
Well, how, like I just want to know, how did the person know to respond idiot sandwich? Like, or was it
I don't know.
just because he responded idiot sandwich that it became funny?
I feel like it was something like he made that and then he called her an idiot sandwich and they're like, oh, let's get this again. Or he did it again like later and then it's like, oh, I know to say it this time.
Okay, what are you?
You know, like there, it must have been otherwise like that was too choreographed. It feels like an idiot sandwich. So yeah, do you have anything else about the sandwich you want to refute? I still don't think it's a good sandwich. There's like so many better ways to make a sandwich.
I mean, maybe, but I'll agree. It might not be the perfect sandwich, but it is very delicious, which I think you're not counting how delicious it is.
There's no such thing.
Every single piece,
sandwich.
you had like a disclaimer. It's like, yeah, sometimes Dad burns it. Yeah, sometimes
Well, that's him.
the bacon doesn't
That's
go on
him
like I
making
want.
his own
You know,
sandwich.
so, you know, like it happens to you too. It's something about that one because it like flops. It just falls off. I'll cut to you whenever that happens because it goes like plop, and you're just like, this is the thing now. But okay, so one of the other things I wanted to talk about, I felt you might have a little fun thing to talk about is, oh, I actually don't have it. I made coffee. Damn it, that's what I was talking about. What do you think of coffee? Do you drink coffee, Ellie?
I do when I'm in college. Not really.
I got it.
Not really when I'm at home. I like coffee. I just like black coffee. I don't put anything in it though.
You take black coffee with nothing in it?
Yeah.
She makes black coffee because she doesn't like stuff in it. It makes sense.
No, what I'm just trying to say is that's gotta taste awful.
It depends on the kind of coffee you drink though. If you drink like good coffee, it tastes pretty good. But if you drink coffee that's like gas station, like Starbucks coffee without stuff in it, tastes horrible. I would never drink that black.
See, I just don't like the taste of coffee in general, but I understand there are levels. And then you talk about just like straight up black coffee, to me that just sounds like death.
You just like when I drink coffee, I don't taste anything. It's
It's the same thing with alcohol. Like you just,
no.
it's like I don't taste it.
No, that's more I feel like a refined thing where like coffee you just kind of I just ignore it. Like I don't know, it just isn't a thing anymore. I don't know why that is, but I just get over it. Ellie for the longest time would not drink coffee. Instead, she would drink Mountain Dew. Be like, oh, I gotta
true.
cram for this final. I need a 6-pack of Mountain Dew. And it's like,
It was Diet Mountain Dew. Give me credit.
It's like sugar though, so yeah, I guess it kind of worked, but then you would crash, and that's when you need another one.
Well, it does have caffeine in it.
It does. I think it's pretty minute compared to a cup of coffee though.
It is, yeah.
There's another person who did that. Was our second old Scoutmaster. Do you remember?
Pablo?
Yeah. Yeah, he would do the same thing. It's like he would get like just like packs Mountain Dew to like drink him in the morning, like get him up. And
I
just,
did.
like,
yeah.
I did used to drink Mountain Dew for breakfast when I was in high school.
Did you stop that, or you didn't have that at college?
I just started drinking coffee instead because coffee's cheap and Mountain Dew is
Yeah.
expensive.
Basically, yeah. I'm sure it's also like, oh, coffee's free in the dining hall versus, oh, they don't just have Mountain Dew on tap, you know, wherever you go. But I was going to throw it out because I had coffee and I always make it before the podcast, so I have energy and I got stuff to record after this, so I got to stay up and get shit
Destiny
done.
shit?
No, not Destiny stuff. I've been trying to finish Resident Evil 4 for like a month, and I'm like 2 hours from doing it. So I'm going to try and get that all out and done so I can move all the podcast stuff after. Because once I start doing the podcast stuff, it just locks down my PC. So I need to get that done, and that's what I'm going to be doing.
Also, so you can start playing things like Prey and
Yes.
Fallout and Final Fantasy.
Well, I got to finish Evil Within. That's my personal game right now. But what I want to do is I think I'm going to stream on Mondays. And that's going to be like a personal game night where I'm just like, right now I'm playing Evil Within and I'll stream that. So once I beat that, that's going to save me like 3 hours every Monday where I'm guaranteed to play something. And that's when I'll take like on Prey and stuff. And then for the next game, I think I'm going to do Resident Evil 7 or I don't know.
I like Prey. Prey's good.
Sorry, I've heard good things about Prey too. So maybe that.
It's got an interesting ending.
Are you about to spoil it? You're
No.
like, it gets interesting and everyone dies. You're like, no, I'll let you know. I've heard good things about Prey, but I don't actually know anything about it. I feel like it's something I've heard that title before, but I've no idea what it is. There's aliens, there's mimics, there's stuff.
Fucking mimics.
Fucking mimics.
Fucking mimics. But there was a Prey from like the late 90s, I think, or maybe early 2000s. But this has like nothing to do with it. Like they like essentially took the name and the fact that it involves aliens, and that's it. Like there's nothing else that crosses over.
Okay.
So I don't know why they decided to call it Prey, but it's really good. It's very I feel like it's very cinematic at times. Like there aren't really there's a cutscene in the beginning, and I think a lot of the cutscenes are kind of like
Half-Life.
Yeah.
Yeah, where it's like the only two cutscenes in Half-Life are the very beginning and very end, and I don't even think they'll have ending cutscenes. Everything else is just you can look around and do what you want. So
they also, I don't know why I really like this, but they have a system, and it's called like the looking glass thing, and it's essentially like they have windows that are like your like big TV screens, but it's supposed to be like you're looking into another room. So if there's a camera, you're looking through, you can see a perspective, but then when you move, it's like you're able to actually see around the room, like you would be if there was a wall and that literally was just a window.
So is there a camera on the other side, or is this like a thing where you can just put a TV there anywhere you want, and it's like magic or something? Or is it like it's just a camera?
They supposedly have cameras wherever you're looking at. So like if I'm in this room and you're looking at the one in whatever room, it's like you can't just like look anywhere, but when they have them, it's really interesting. That's
cool. I could see that versus like if they just said like, oh, how can we make like these controls so you can like control the camera? It's like, let's just make it track you. Is essentially what it sounds like it happens, because they can do that in a game, so it just moves with you.
They have there's a really good jump scare in the game. It's not like really scary, but if you are not expecting it, it's really funny after the fact. Because like you can also break them.
You can break the
the screens.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
And because they'll fix themselves after you leave and stuff like that. Well, some of them do. Like there's one in your office and that one will fix itself. But like it's very much like go anywhere in the game. Like they're clearly like you will unlock segments of the map as you go, and you're supposed to kind of go in this way, but there are so many ways of getting about. Especially because you have all these you have regular conventional guns, and then you can get these what they're called, these implants that you inject into your eye, and you can unlock abilities that are like supposed to like human technology, and they're ones that have to do with like the alien biology, like essentially like telekinesis and stuff like that. Well, and depending on which route you go, there are different endings. So like you can think like, oh, you can essentially become a mimic. Like you can mimic items, and like so like, oh, there's this room is locked, and there's like a little slot for like putting money under, or like tickets for like a tool booth sense of thing. Like, oh, I'll just mimic a cup and roll into that, and then you entered that room that way. It's like, oh, well, I can hack this, or I can go find the security code from this by this one guy who has this item. So it's like all these different ways of going throughout the game. It's really cool.
It's cool. I feel like one of the things, like, I wouldn't mind using a mimic like in our D&D game, but the issue with the mimics is not fighting them. It's not like when they like ambush you, it's just the thought. Like once it happens once, it's just like, now I got to deal with this. Like you have to deal with the idea of a potential mimic probably at every single point in that game once it happens. Even though as a developer, so you might know, oh, of course I would never put a mimic there. That'd be stupid. But as a player, it's like, this is the thing. Now I got to deal with it.
Here's the thing, though. Mimics aren't determined necessarily to be at anything. They can, mimics can become mimics and unmimic whenever they want. So it's like you can be chasing a mimic and it'll run out of sight and then mimic something. And you're like, fuck, where'd he go? Or like, it'll be there, you'll leave, you'll come back, and then it's gone. Item's gone. It's like, where'd he go? Where'd that fucker go? And God, they're fucking. There are times in the game where it's fucking stressful. Like there are times where you just run around with your wrench and you're just like hitting things. Just like, is that a thing? Like I remember, like I was watching someone who was like going up a staircase, and all of a sudden a trash can started rolling down the stairs. Like, the fucker's a mimic. fuck that thing. He like goes up and starts seeing it, and it's like, oh, it's not. He looks up the stairs, and there's a trash can just sitting in the middle of the staircase. It's like, oh, the mimic transformed and knocked the trash can down when it did that. Because when they can only mimic something that's currently there, so it can't just like become a health kit in the middle of the floor. There has to be a health kit near it for it to copy.
Is there any like one go-to jump scare that you remember more than anything in like a movie or a game? I'd say I know one for me is I had two really good ones when I played Fear. I think it was Fear 1 because one there was invisible enemies, but this is when I first encountered it and I saw like something weird because it was like sitting up in the corner of the room. It's like, that's weird. That shadow looks weird. Like, wait. That's a dude. And then it like jumped at me. It's like, it really got me because I was like, nah, that can't be anything. No, and so I had no idea that was the thing in the game that just came at me. Or I think originally I emulated that, and I guess I had a bug where there's a point where there's actually a way dumber jump scare where like the evil drill creature like crawls at you. But mine was glitched, so I only saw, I guess, like the particle effects. So the same thing happened. Like I walked through and like I jumped. Like, was that a jump scare? I'm really not sure. Like, I may have just been seeing things. And it was so much better because of that. I just remember that. Because it wasn't until way later when I watched someone else play it, like with a properly, like, console version or something. It's like, oh, man, that's stupid. You actually see the whole monster thing. I thought it was just, like, in my mind. Because till that point, you had not even heard of her in that game. So I was just like, I must be going crazy. There's no crazy girl in this game, right? Turns out there is. But I really remember that. Because both times I was like, it was just so natural. I was like... I was so like not prepared. You just run around fighting dudes. It's like you're playing Halo and then all of a sudden jump scare. It's like you weren't ready. So I didn't know if there's anything like that where just like it really got you.
I want to say the one in Fear or Prey actually is really good. Like, I don't know why. It's like it's not scary, but if you're immersed in the moment and then it happens, like, God, fuck. And then you feel like such a dumbass when you fall for it. But another one that comes to mind is in BioShock Infinite, when you're in the asylum and there's that I forgot the boy's silence or whatever, and you go in that one room and you're like because if he sees you he screams and all the enemies come at you, and there's a point where you get to like this room with all the cameras and you do something and you turn around and he's there and screams at you instantly. It's like, oh, God damn it. But it's a scripted thing. But when I do, like, I don't know why, but sometimes, like, okay, I'm looking at this thing. Instead of just instantly turning it around, I usually, like, back up and turn as I go. And as I go, I start trying to back up, and I can't move. I'm like, oh, no. I turn around, and it's fucking there. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah. That happened to me when I played Amnesia, where there was something in a cabinet I had to get, and that's also where you go to hide. And so I was in a cabinet, but I didn't quite shut it properly. But I'm doing my thing, and I do the same thing. I'm backing, but turning, and I stop, like, there's a foot outside. That was not, there's like, there's just no one like comprehending, like, no. And again, it's not scripted at all. It was just like so perfect where it's like, I just can't describe it. It's just like, your heart just like stops for a second. You're just like, I need to not move. So, God.
Did you survive that?
I think I did, because I was still already in the cabinet, but it was weird because like he didn't exactly see me. I think he just kind of like wandered over for whatever reason.
Okay.
So, but yeah. God, I enjoy playing horror games like that. Like, I think, God, I went on this topic. One of my other favorite ones was not actually one I had, but I was having someone play the first Five Nights at Freddy's, and I was trying to explain the concept, like, oh, it's like essentially Haunted Chuck E. Cheese. Like, I don't get it. It doesn't seem scary. And then the first thing happened where one character moves like off stage, dude completely loses it.
Was that Matt?
No. This was someone you hadn't met.
Okay.
But yeah,
I'm sure Matt did that though.
No, that was him with Dead Space. He was terrible at Dead Space. Where he would just like, he just could not handle it the first time he played Dead Space. Which I would not consider Dead Space to be like that scary of a game. It's just a game that really kind of comes at you and you feel helpless. And that's the thing. It's like, I don't know. It's not doing anything. And it's tense. But it was just so perfect because like I was trying to explain, like, it makes sense. This happens and this and this and this. Like, I don't get it. And then just the dude goes like 5 feet and just the dude goes crazy. It was great. So how about you, Ellie? Any great jump scares?
No, not really. I don't play horror games very much at all. I don't think I have any jump scare stories.
See, yeah, I don't play horror games either, but like I wouldn't consider BioShock Infinite a horror game, but I would consider.
People think BioShock's a horror game. I feel like
it feels like that just by its environment.
Mm-hmm. It's got some tones of it, but
like I feel like it's just supposed to be more suspenseful than horror.
Mm-hmm.
because like it's just dark a lot of the time. There's not like scary. I think a lot of it's just like they're just crazy ass people in masks everywhere, and when you can't see everything, then all of a sudden they're there. It's like, God damn it.
Yeah. Or like I know like I personally like categorize the same thing with Dead Space, where I don't consider Dead Space to be a true horror game. It's just like kind of a action game that's spooky. And I think that's an important like distinction versus like Resident Evil at points I would definitely be like, this is the horror section or like this is the action section. So I don't know, that's a really defining horror game is apparently a very difficult genre. Like I don't necessarily consider Dead Rising to be a horror game, but a lot of people do, even though in reality it's kind of a silly game. And I think there's a lot of cases like that where it's like, this isn't actually spooky, but it's horror because it's got a zombie. So I don't know. I like playing spooky games. I'm looking forward to playing a whole bunch. Like I don't think Prey is too much of one, but after that I want to get to playing a whole bunch of others.
It's a spooky game, but again, it's not horror.
Too spooky.
Like I would say it's a good action like run around game, but I was gonna say like the main thing is the mimics or the enemies that are like powerful, and it's just stretched like fuck. I don't want it to know I'm here, like just scurrying around it. I don't know. It's fucking mimics.
Fucking mimics.
Fucking.
But yeah, I'm eager. I like want to start like with streaming, reserving time. Be like, I'm gonna get through this game. And so once I beat Evil Within, which I've never been so conflicted with a game. Like I don't know if I like Evil Within. Either I really like it or I really don't, and I just have no idea. So I just need to finish that so I can figure it out. So yeah. So that's what else. We were talking about coffee originally, and we somehow got onto that. So, Ellie, what's up? What's your next thing to refute? I know you had a whole bunch because you constantly would like text me like another thing. I left this comment on. I'm gonna bring this up when I can come down to Omaha.
I'm just gonna let you know it's at 30.
That's cool. We can go for an hour on this one.
Oh
yeah, we're good.
What was? I need to look at my list.
Yeah, engage your list. I'm using this is Ellie's. What is this? A Kindle? Is this something. A Kindle Fire? It's something.
It's an Amazon.
Who buys this and then doesn't spend the $20 to not get ads?
Because needed it for, it's an Android, and I needed it for my Android development class, but I have a laptop and a phone. I don't need a tablet.
I do have that thing issue.
I literally just got it to do Android development.
This is literally the only thing I use it for is the podcast. Like I would never pull it out. And I mean, I have a laptop, but I don't know what I else would use it for. I guess I could do ebooks.
Question. How can we go an hour on this one if you figured out there are 5 Saturdays?
Because I'm already at the limit.
Okay.
So this one's gonna. So this
is going to be delayed.
Yeah. The audio version. This is going to come out next month, I think.
Okay.
But more specifically, I figured out like a little bit more how like I can purchase more space. The main thing is I pay like $5 or $7 for this each month just to do the storage, and I have there's a minimum charge for more space, which is another $5, but that doubles. So I don't want to go like 10% over. I want to go like all the way. So I'm going to hopefully do 3-hour episodes next time, knowing I'm going to go over anyway, so I can make it more worthwhile. Versus, man, I only need like 10 more megabytes, but now I got to buy 100 or something. So that's my goal.
Okay.
So, or if not, it's got to be delayed anyway, and then we can just make 2 30-minute episodes after that. So
I had something I wanted to refute. Well, it's not really refuting, but on quite a few podcasts ago, you guys were talking about Pokemon, and
we talked about it on like 2. I think.
Yeah, I'm not particularly into Pokemon, and the reason is because when we were kids, Mom bought us some Pokemon, some like plush Pokemon, and she said that I got to choose first, and you chose first anyway, and of course you chose Mewtwo, and then every time we fought, of course Mewtwo won, and I had no chance, and then that's the reason I don't like Pokemon, is because you stole Mewtwo from me, and you refused to admit it.
What?
I don't remember this whatsoever. I remember like the plush doll like things.
Yeah.
What did you have then?
I had like all the lame Pokemon that couldn't beat Mewtwo.
These are plushies, so how do you figure? Like, how would these fight?
Well, I don't know. We somehow figured it out.
Dumb stuff.
Like, this is all just imaginary, so it's like...
Pretty much, yeah.
So, he just had better arguments for
pretty
why
much.
his would win.
It was the same thing when we played Yu-Gi-Oh! It was, you always had a way better understanding of how the cards worked, and I'd be like, I'm going to play my Blue Eyes White Dragon, and you're like, nope, I got this card, fuck you.
Let's do the strongest one. It's like, well, okay, so I'm just going to be like, kill monster card. And you had nothing. But then here's the other thing, you didn't want to follow the rules. You always were like, I don't want to like do the summoning shit. So it would just be like, let's play with a full deck. So you don't have to like draw cards. Which kind of makes sense why you would think like that as a kid, because it's like, oh, I don't want to be screwed.
Yeah.
Because I didn't get the cards I want. But then it's the same way where it's like, if you just play stuff freely, it is just like Blue Eyes White Dragon. It's like, cool, well, I can play my best card. And it ruins the economy of that game.
Yeah.
So Or like there's a bunch of monsters in that game that there's no point. Like essentially, like you play Magic, it basically eliminates the whole point of a red deck if you can just freely choose from the deck, because you could go. Now, given you still have to like play lands in Magic.
Yeah.
But if you didn't have that, and you just be like, yeah, boom, left like 7 monster. You know, fuck red decks. Everything's black. Everything's white. So yeah, that makes no sense to you, but it's the same thing.
I just feel like so many games when we were a kid that we would play, you won because you had a better understanding of them, and then I just got so upset because
That's how games are meant to work.
yeah, but I feel like you never even gave me
you
a
won because
chance.
you're better, and that's bullshit.
Well, yeah, because you were okay. The Pokemon thing though is real though. You stole my Pokemon, and Mewtwo is my favorite Pokemon, and you took it.
Mom let me, I guess.
No, she said you guys went to the store and you bought Pokemon, and Mom was like, because you didn't get to go to the store, Ellie, you can choose which Pokemon you get first. And then you're like, nope, I'm just gonna take Mewtwo. So Mom did not say. Mom said that I got to pick, and you ignored her.
I gotta know what the other Pokemon is though.
It was
Like
lame
you're acting
Pokemon. I don't remember what they were because Mewtwo was the best one.
You're acting like, oh, I
Mewtwo
got my
was
two
the only-
favorite Pokemon, fucking Mewtwo and Dunsparce. You know what I'm talking about. But
like,
it's not like I'm sure it must have been like
I
Mewtwo and
probably got-
Pikachu
I probably got like Jigglypuff or something.
or something. Jigglypuff's good.
Yeah, but not
Jigglypuff
against
is like the best character
Mewtwo
in Super
and
Mario Bros.
Pikachu.
Melee.
Is it?
Yeah, Jigglypuff's a very good character in all the games actually. But in Melee, I guess it's just like that. It's down B move, like rest or whatever, is super powerful as a finisher, and you can just, if you know how to chain it, you can get it off for free really easily. I don't know. I didn't play a ton of Melee, but apparently Jigglypuff's very good. It's the air fighter.
Well, like Jigglypuff's now a fairy type, so that means it fucks up dragons real hard.
But what does it do? How does it do against Psychic?
Psychic, it's neutral.
Oh damn! You could prove our discussion wrong. It's like fucking Jigglypuff was better all the time. Ellie, you should have won. Ellie's never finished a Pokemon game though.
Well, yeah, and part of the reason is because of that. I know it might sound ridiculous, but it's true. It turned me off of Pokemon.
I have a DS you can borrow with a Pokemon game. I was meant to give it to you like a year ago. I have that for you. Pokemon Diamond.
well,
that
also,
mine?
No, it's Jamie's.
Okay.
Unless you keep yours in a pink case.
No.
Yeah.
you also had Pokemon when we were a kid on the Game Boy, but I also couldn't read at that point, and so it was
Yeah.
really hard for me to play that game.
Soul Silver and not Soul Silver. God, Crystal and Silver is one of the ones we had. Yeah, the second generation.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, if you can read then, you're like, I don't know.
I was like 4 or something.
There's plenty of people who
Right.
beat Pokemon without reading, I'm sure. Just by the virtue of like, by the time you find out where you need to be, it's, oh, this is the gym. Well, all my Pokemon are level 100 because, you know, I've been wandering around. As a kid, you would
yeah.
do that.
I guess you could argue like the people that get like the Japanese versions. Like, I don't even know what any of this says.
Yeah, I don't get that. I'm actually, we talked about this once on the last one. I'm watching a speedrun of Lightning Returns, and he's like, I was like, why are you playing in Japanese? It's like, well, it's the only version I have. It's like, well, why did you buy it?
Yeah.
It's like, he was like, yeah, I don't speak. It's like, why did you buy it? I don't know. I don't get it. Like, some people are super into that. Or the people who have the fucking, like, the Japanese, like, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and then they have to be like, oh, I know this is what this does. Just trust me. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Not you, personally, Andrew, but, like, come on. Like, really? Yeah, sure. Yeah, like, I know it says it's 340 tack, but it's backwards in Japanese. It's actually 430 or some dumb shit. Like, you know, it's like, yeah, cool, man. This is your like dad working at Nintendo too. That's like a thing as a kid was like, oh, I got a rare Japanese card. Now it's like, who gives a shit about that? But as a kid, it was like big. I don't get it. I don't get people who do that. Maybe if it's like some really rare game, I guess, that you can only get in like that language, but I don't understand it.
I thought you said maybe this was a different speed run, but that one of the speed runs they did it in Japanese because the subtitles were faster that way.
A lot of games do it like that, but Lightning Returns is all voice acted, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So it's all the same length. Any text is just like, here's a screen of text. But stuff like Ocarina of Time's the big one where I guess they have a set rate that it prints characters to the screen at this set rate, regardless of language. And just Japanese and Chinese are more condensed in terms of, because they have more
They're
symbols.
more efficient.
Yeah, so it just goes faster because there's a lot of text you can't skip. So for a lot of games, that's true. But for this one, it didn't matter. These dude just bought a Japanese version. So, yeah.
I mean, I guess there are some people that like buy the games before.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, is maybe like that.
Or Western countries, but once they do come out, it's like, just why not?
Why not?
You fucking weeb.
I don't get it. Like, I can't imagine having a game like, oh yeah, I'd lend it to you, but just let you know, it is all in Japanese.
I mean, it's one thing if you actually know the language.
Yeah, I could get that. Like, or even at a certain point, like if you play the game enough, I feel like you'd start learning the language just because you had to figure it out. Like, or you like know like maybe not what it means, but what the intent is. Like I think we talked about this on a different one, or I talked about it on a stream or something. There is, if you ever play, I think it's the original Crisis or one of the spin-offs. It takes place in Vietnam, but all the enemies speak English unless you're on the highest difficulty setting, and then they speak Vietnamese. So you'll play it, and you don't know what the thing means. You just know, oh, they said that. That means they're throwing a grenade. I gotta go hide. And I just always liked that idea because, yeah, it's this weird way to add difficulty. And after a while, if you play it, you'll, I'm sure, learn the terms or the things they're shouting. Not for what they are, but just like, oh, they're charging forward. I don't know what that means, but that means they're attacking, I guess. So I thought that was such a cool idea.
It is a cool idea.
That are like, there's a ton of like small little Spanish things and like Resident Evil. It's the same way. I don't know what that means in Spanish. I just know that's bad. That means basically, I don't know what that word means, but it means boss in like my terms. So it's weird. I wish that was more of a thing, but I always wondered like, would that ruin it then if you actually knew the language? Like if they try and be secretive and you're like, oh, that means ambush. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna ambush. Oh, it's ruined now.
You just imagine it's like a scenario where they're trying to speak in the language so you don't understand, but you've got the translator there. It's like, I know what you just said.
We can go into one of our questions. So, Andrew, Ellie, what was a movie as a kid that scared you?
Brave Little Toaster.
I was gonna say that too. Brave Little Toaster was weird.
It has so many scary characters.
Yeah.
It never scared me. I used to love the Brave Little Toaster.
It had the air conditioner was really scary, and the vacuum was really scary. It's at the very
These are like
beginning.
when we were really young too.
Which one?
It's the one at the very beginning that's like...
the first movie. The only movie that matters.
The other one's good too.
I don't even know what the other ones.
I've never seen
There's
the
like
other
dumb
ones.
spin-offs on Netflix. There's like 3 of them.
Oh, like there's one where they go to Mars.
Oh, wow. I've never
Okay.
definitely
Oh yeah.
never
Sorry.
seen
That one's
one.
probably not dumb. The one where the toaster goes to Mars. That's probably.
I'm not saying it's not dumb. I'm just saying I'm just elaborating that's one. There's one about when like he's in college.
the toaster.
No, the owner.
Isn't that the first one?
I think
Isn't
that's
that
the
why-
first
I
I
one.
think it's the only
Yeah.
one with the big computer that has the virus.
That must be the second one. I don't know that, but I thought
Yeah.
that was the plot of the first one. He was moving away for college.
No, he's in college.
Oh, I see.
Like he's writing a paper.
And he brought his toaster.
Well, he probably
Is this before or after it goes to Mars? Because if you say that's
This
the
is
third,
before he goes
if that's
to Mars.
the third movie, what
No,
fucking?
the reason why, because when it goes to Mars, they go to Mars because his baby gets kidnapped.
Oh, my gosh.
The toaster's baby.
No,
Damn.
the owner's baby.
I think he fled to Mars because the owner made shitty BLTs in him, and it's like just fuck my toast up.
Whatever.
That's called a callback, Ellie. We're professional in the podcast, you know. We use all forms of comedy. I've never seen. We've only seen the other one. But as a kid, like really young, it was a very surreal movie, and I think that's why it was weird.
Yeah.
That's the
gonna
one I
say-
can think of.
A movie that scared me as a child was Spirited Away.
I've never
Really?
seen that movie.
We should watch it. I didn't see it as a kid. I watched it with Jamie like a couple of years ago. That was the first time I saw it. But that one
I
makes
watched it
sense
again with
too.
you because I didn't finish the movie. I just thought it was creepy and weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense why it would be creepy. Like especially like the pseudo villain, like not the main villain, but the no face. Like I could see that being as a kid, just being like, I don't understand that, and it's
Yeah.
creepy.
Yeah.
So-
like the whole thing, like the parents, like getting like abducted and turned into pigs.
We'll have to watch that. That's a good movie.
Like it's yeah.
Jamie has a
It's-
copy, and it's like just like what 2 hours, and it's amazing. I had never actually heard of it or seen it before Jamie brought it up.
Really?
Yeah, I never. I mean, maybe I had heard of the idea of it, but yeah, I had no idea what it was about.
See, I knew about it because like I think there were like advertisements for it on like Kiki's delivery service. We had that as VHS, and
See, I didn't, same thing. I haven't
like
heard
that
any of
movie.
those.
Really?
I did not like Key's delivery service. I thought it was not as good as the other one.
Well, I was like,
Well, that's the thing
kid
too. It's like
when
if
I
you,
watched it,
if you came
so-
here and talked about Brave Little Toaster, I'd be like, that's the dumbest fucking movie idea ever because it is. But as even
Like-
when you watch it as a kid,
okay, like the one where they go fucking go to Mars. How they do that is like there's a fan guy, and like the fan is how they propel themselves in space, and the fuel is the microwave is plugged into the fan, and it needs to cook popcorn.
physics.
Like cooking the popcorn provides the thrust to the fan to travel.
Well, not even that. How does a fan work in space?
I was emphasizing the fact that they were using a fan in space. I was like, a fan.
They're just like, let's just get this out of the way, and then we can continue with the rest of the movie, which I'm sure was super realistic.
Well, keep in mind also, this involves a bunch of appliances that are anthropomorphized.
Mm-hmm.
What is it called?
I just had it said in my head, and then I can't get it out of my mouth. Anthropomorphic?
Sure.
Yeah.
Like, autonomous, like, there's a blankie, like a fucking toaster, a vacuum cleaner, a radio.
Maybe that's the prequel to the Transformer movies.
Oh my god.
If you had to pick two movies and like link them together, and like these two movies are canon to make the weirdest pairing, what would they be?
Weirdest pairing or best pairing?
Best pairing. Like, I don't know. It depends how you define best, or like just weird little things. Like my favorite like fun fact is that there's, I think it's what, Kindergarten Cop. It's an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. It's canon with Silent Hill too, because I always talk about that one.
I don't know if they're canon. They just use the same, like they use the school as literally the school in Silent Hill.
Yeah, and it's like called something different, but it's the exact layout. There's like a bus in the opening shot of the movie, and the bus is exactly there in the game. It's really weird when you get it pointed out. Like if you had played the game before, it's just like, that's a really specific thing to like latch onto.
Yeah.
But I guess it was something like it's a Japanese made game. They need an instance of American school. They had this on VHS, so they just copied it. It's such a random little fact. I love giving that one. I want to play Silent Hill 2. I've never actually played it. I've seen it played. Or I've played part of it, but that's a famous one with Pyramid Head and all that. So, also, heavily recommend Silent Hill movie. I really like the Silent Hill movie on Netflix.
I haven't watched that one. I know there's a Silent Hill movie with Sean Bean.
That's it.
That's the one?
Yeah.
I was going to say, is it a real John Bean role?
No. He's
not.
like a side character. He's not involved. He's like a background thing.
So, but is it like a real Sean Bean character? Like
No.
Okay.
I get what you're saying. No.
Okay. Also, the thing about this one, doesn't Pyramid Head only have like 4 sides? Doesn't the shape?
We've been through this. It doesn't matter about the side. It needs like different faces that all come to a point. It doesn't necessarily have to be exactly 4. I don't know, like exact triangles
in one square.
But what bugs me is like
Then what differentiates it from a cone?
a cone. It has to do with like the base.
Yeah, but then, like, I'm not
Fuckers,
speaking
I can
like,
look this up. This
I'm
is why
not
we have
speaking
this.
in like actual geometric terms, but like, what if you had a pyramid that just had a million sides? It would essentially just be a cone.
I think a cone might be a
That's
pyramid.
true.
Hold up.
Infinite sides.
Yeah.
Or I think it wouldn't, because
I guess
if it's truly a circle, that's what makes it
A cone. But then a cone would technically be a pyramid, wouldn't it?
because it just has infinite
Yeah.
sides.
No, it depends, because like in the exact definition, like in reality, you can't have infinite sides, right? There is no, you can't actually have a circle.
But geometry can be unreal.
That's what I'm saying. Like you can have a circle, but in reality, a circle can exist. So it's the same thing. Technically, it can't be both in geometry. It either is like a circle base or it isn't. Like that's a fine line in the definition.
Okay, so but back on track. So how many sides can a pyramid have until it's not a pyramid anymore?
Infinity minus 1.
Here, let's give you the definition. First hit.
Okay.
A pyramid, defined as an object in the form of a pyramid. You ever had that in class when you like look up a word and it's just like thanks? Here, let me find this actual one. But like, I remember like in school that happens all the time. You go like look at definition. It's like, what is jumping? It means to jump. It's like, well, cool. Yeah, I got that. Thanks. Let's see. Here we go. A polyhedron having for its base a polygonal and it says 4 faces, but it's spelled FOR. And for faces, triangles with a common vertex. I think it's just this. You just need a shape on the bottom,
Which could be a circle.
I don't know. Is a circle a polyhedron? No. The base is a polygon. The base needs to be a polygon, so it needs sides.
Is a
right?
circle, yeah. But then
I don't
what's
think
the
so, no.
But then what is the limit of a polygon?
What do you mean?
Like, because you could have a polygon that has 2 billion sides, and it would be a polygon.
Yes.
But that would
There is no
essentially be a
limit.
circle.
There is no limit.
But couldn't the? I mean, I'm not a mathematical expert, but couldn't you theoretically say like you have a polygon whose sides approach infinity?
Yes. It approaches infinity, but it never reaches infinity.
I suppose
Right? But yeah, in our world,
it's
true.
essentially a circle.
It's like the same argument like you can make against like, does 0.9 repeating equal 1? Have you ever heard that one? Mm-hmm. And it's like, technically, it's like, no, but I mean,
Yeah.
essentially it approaches it. Mm-hmm. That might be the bad way to phrase it, but yeah.
I know what you mean. No, I agree.
Yeah, so
I agree with you.
I think
It's different.
geometry, if you want to be like semantics, I think technically it is either one or the other. So.
Okay. That makes sense.
Shout out to Merriam-Webster. Guest appearance on the podcast.
Is that the one that said a pyramid is a shape of a pyramid? Which is the one that had the really dumb definition?
No, that was just the first hit on Bing or Google or whatever. But yeah, I just remember all the time finding those as a kid, like, someone wrote this. Like, someone sat down and wrote that text out. And it's like, God, how could you live with yourself?
It's like, can you even proof?
Can you improve? I had to do like a logic course in college, and that sounded like the most like bullshit thing ever. It was full of stuff like that. Where I go in, they would just be like, and the rest makes sense, so we're done. We proved it. It's like,
I had to do that. I found that class really tough for me because it's like prove 2 + 2 = 4, and when you like never have done math proofs before, that's really hard.
This feels like bullshit. The worst is fucking QED. It's like an abbreviation for something Latin, and basically means like basically just like phone in the rest. Like, I've shown enough. Now you go, I don't know, it's proof. And I remember, like, as a student, it's like, how come when I do that, the professor's like, you didn't prove enough. But when the professor's just like, a pyramid is just an object in the shape of a pyramid, QED.
Yeah.
It's like, I have proven it. It's like, there's, I guess, sort of logic, but at the same time, you fucking in it. So I did like things about that course, like, in terms of, like thinking, but it did seem kind of just like bullshit at other times.
When I took that class, I was very bad at writing proofs, and that's always what I got like marked off on. It's
and it makes more sense. It makes more sense if you're doing like Boolean logic when you get to like that, because that's more like, if this is true and this is true and those things make sense, then this is true. But when you're just doing like raw, I don't know, text-based proofs of like, if Steve is 5 feet tall, then this is true, it gets dumb and difficult.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't even know the name of that class, but I just remember it was just like a whole freaking thing. But yeah, I'm done with college. Ellie, how much more college do you have?
I have a 1.5 years left.
1.5 years?
Yeah.
When do you go back?
I go back first week in January, or second week in January is when I start.
Back to California.
Yeah, back to California from Florida.
You've gone to like the two like almost for the states. Like if you just go from like the tip of Florida, it's like Washington. That would just be like the worst possible combination.
Actually, I would think Alaska would probably be
touche. I guess I didn't consider about that. That would be true.
Because not only is it just butt fuck far, but it also goes like really hot to really cold.
Do you want to rant about your work now that it's behind you? What you did?
I can talk about it. There's not anything that's that rant worthy, but I worked at a dog daycare. I don't know. I find dogs are a lot like little children. Like, they really, really are. There's so many, and I don't mean that as like,
derogatory,
but just like in their behavior. Like, you know how you talked about when you worked at Hummel, like a kid would just like, you had to like watch them and be like, don't hurt yourself. A dog is the same way. You have to be like don't hurt yourself. I know you want to like,
just
I know you want
everything.
this treat, but you need to like not hurt yourself trying to escape your room because you want a treat. Like, yeah, or you need to not eat. Like, I mean, I think it was sometimes interesting because dogs would come, and they would poop out like the weirdest things. And you're like, clearly at some point you ate a bunch of rope, some balloons, some like huge pieces of black rubber. Like,
well, I know like there'd be stories you tell where you literally sound like a parent because you'd work overnight. You're like, I finally put all the dogs to bed, and then the train went by and they all woke up again.
Yeah.
It's like something you'd hear like a parent or a newborn talk about.
It's a thing. It's like all the dogs are nice and quiet. Or what would happen even without the train is all the dogs are nice and quiet at night when you're working overnight, and then one of the dogs like rolls over and their bed squeaks, and then everybody else is like barking at them. They're like, what's that?
What did you feed the dogs?
Just food that they brought their parents brought with them.
Any crazy ones?
Their parents.
She calls it. Yeah,
there's a couple ones. Most dogs just get normal dog food, but there's a couple dogs that got they got almost like an entire burrito bowl for every meal that we would warm up in the microwave. It had like rice and vegetables and meat and a hard-boiled egg, and they got like this huge bowl of that for every single meal. And then there was another dog that came.
Was it a fucking fat dog?
They were a little bit overweight. A little bit, yes.
Because dogs, like, it's really bad, like, dogs getting fat. Like, apparently you can give dogs, like, hard-boiled eggs or cooked eggs, but you're not supposed to give them the yolk or the
Yeah, like the yolk.
Is it still called the yolk if it's hard boiled?
I guess
It's a little
like
funny.
the
You're not supposed to
yellow.
give them the yellow part. You're only supposed to give them the white part of the egg because the yellow part's the really fatty part. So it's like, oh god damn it.
It was just interesting because like that's like better than I eat on a regular basis, and they get like
You said there was one dog that came in and it was like the dog was like, oh, we know he's old, so they just brought in like a 12 bag of like Wendy's Baconators.
it was
like,
Arby's.
Yeah, Arby's, and it's like
And
this
the
is
dog
his
was
food.
very old, and he was like honestly pretty close to death. But so I get it. But yeah, he literally just got straight Arby's sandwiches for
Yeah,
his
same thing. I
meals.
was like, fuck, I would love if like when you're in college you can't afford anything. I would love someone to give me like just a week's worth of Arby's. Like, hell yeah, I'm jealous of that dog.
How's the dog
Yeah.
not dead?
He's just like really
Well,
old.
It wasn't like for
Right,
the rest
but
of his life. I think it was just like he's gonna die in a month.
Right, but I mean,
Other
like,
causes.
I don't know. Like, I feel like it's really hard on their livers.
Maybe I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not sure. I'm not a veterinarian. I don't know.
The one thing is like I love dogs. I don't understand how they try to eat so much things that are just really bad. For
Yeah, I know what you
like
mean.
chocolate. That's like a dog can like fucking kill itself just by eating chocolate. It's like dog. Don't eat chocolate, but they want to eat the chocolate.
But
Don't
that's why
do
I
that.
think- yeah, that's why I feel like they're kind of like little kids. We have to be like, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. But then they're also so adorable. You're like, I forgive you.
Do you know why dogs can't eat chocolate?
I don't know.
It gives them seizures.
That's interesting.
So don't give dogs chocolate. Yeah. That's like, so you know how like they're the snack with like the Chex Mix with like sugar and chocolate and peanut butter. Those used to be, people used to call them puppy chow, but then all of a sudden it became a thing. Like you're not allowed to say it's puppy chow anymore. Now you need to call it people chow.
Oh, I noticed they do that in High P.
Because the reason why is because people thought that meant you could feed it to your dogs, and the dogs would get seizures and start dying.
Makes sense.
But just like I find weird is at least like chocolate you can see like, oh, maybe they don't understand it. But like how do you eat a balloon and not instantly be like, this is terrible? Like how do you eat the balloon, chew it up, swallow it, and you're like, yes, that was good, I would have another.
Yeah.
Well,
And then-
before you even swallow it, just chewing it and be like,
Yeah, like I don't understand that logic. The dog is like, yes, this is the best thing ever. I get to eat that thing that's on the ground. Just like, how?
Oh, another thing. A lot of dogs will eat poop, and that's like a
Yeah.
like. Obviously, dogs get sick if they do that, but it's like, why would you eat poop? You can smell that it tastes or smell that it smells terrible. Why did you decide to do that? But there's some dogs that just immediately like another dog poops and they just like immediately want to go and eat it.
It seems like that's something that evolution would breed out. Because like I can understand there wasn't a balloon in nature when the dog's evolving, but there was definitely poop, and they definitely ate it, and they definitely like died because of it.
Yeah.
So
That's
like, how
what-
does that not
yeah.
tell it? Or the fact, how are they not like immunized against it if they are going the other way? Like it seems like one of them should have happened.
Dogs are cute though. A lot of them are so fluffy. I loved when you work overnight. It was nice because you could just go and cuddle with some of the dogs, and it was fun.
What's your favorite dog?
Favorite type of dog?
Favorite type of dog?
I really like Wheatons a lot.
Mine is corgis. I love
Corgis,
corgis.
are really
is it
super
just
duper cute.
because of Space Dan or not Space Dandy?
Cowboy Bebop?
Yeah.
No, I like corgis way before then. Like specifically, I remember like back in high school, I took a class called AP Government, and we were doing a trivia question. And one of the ones that I got was this one that was super random, like no one was supposed to get, but it was like the one that was worth a lot of points. And it was, what kind of dog does the Queen have in England? And I knew it instantly because it was a corgi. And I remember like the teacher's like, why of all people do you know that she has corgis? It's like,
There was-
because I fucking love corgis.
there was the
I
cutest-
I have a corgi coffee mug at work.
There was the cutest corgi who came. Well, there was a lot of really cute corgis who came in, and he would stay overnight. And I would go and cuddle with him, and he would just like roll across my lap, and then just like roll the other way across my lap, and he would just keep doing it. And it was the cutest thing.
Like when they lay down and their feet are like short, so they can just put it like straight
Yeah.
back behind them. Amazing.
The little legs are so cute.
Yeah. See, Cowboy Bebop is just another thing, which is cute, but I,
I
feel
love
like
corgis.
how many corgis are gonna get called Ein because of Cowboy Bebop?
We had one that came. That was called Ein.
Yeah, because I feel like it's gotta be overdone. You know. Too much. I would love to see like what's the most commonly copied name from a show for like a dog. You know.
Toto.
What?
Toto.
Toto. I could. That actually was probably a good answer. It makes sense. It'd be kind of cool to see like just a chart of like I don't know celebrity dog names essentially over the years. Like oh yeah, I heard like a lot of dogs they called Khaleesi from Game of Thrones. And
There
like
would
just
be-
wanna
Yeah, that's a thing.
See the
We had
decline of that?
several Game of Thrones dogs.
What about
If you had- what was anyone like really dumb / clever and just called their dog the Hound?
No.
It's like this person's either really clever or man, they're stupid.
What? Like Buddy, I guess, is one. Except I feel like that's kind of a name before Airbud.
What would be the worst like celebrity dog name or like animal name? Like, could you look someone in the eye who named their cat Garfield? Like that had to be like, you're stupid. Like, how would you? You know, or like, what's your dog's name? Like Marmaduke. Like, why would you do that? But you know, someone has.
Yeah.
You know, but like, at least like Zwei from Cowboy Bebop. Like, I get it. It's a thing. I think it's overdone, but it's understandable. But there's got to be people that just like, yeah, Garfield. You know, or dog.
Yeah, like if you're naming it of a thing that's a niche enough that not everyone knows about it. Like, oh, it's like a thing. Not everyone's gonna know. If they know, it's like, oh, it's because of this. But it's like, oh yeah, it's like fucking like Pluto. And they're like, what everyone knows. And be like, what the fuck are you doing? Why? Why would you do that?
One of the I saw a thread on Reddit one time that was like, what's the most passive aggressive fuck you thing you ever seen someone do? And it was like he was in an HOA, and it's a homeowners association.
Oh, okay.
And it was like one of his neighbors was having a kid, and they named the kid like Sam. And like once that got out, like the next day, the neighbor that hated him went out and got a dog and called it that. So the dog was also named Sam, and he would just like constantly be shouting at like, "Oh, hey Sam, what's up?" It's like, "Oh, I meant my dog." And it's like it's such like a big fuck you.
Yeah,
like
no
to name
kidding.
that because it's like, God, I don't know. It just reminded me that it's like, because like how would you even deal with that? It's like, I don't even know what to say.
Well, it's like,
But also it doesn't matter.
pushing the kid. Like, it's not even like, that's dumb.
It's dumb.
That's dumb. It's like, yeah, I hate your dad, so fuck you.
Any other topics on your refutal list? I don't know how many you have. I don't want to keep throwing it to you if you don't.
No, I think those are like the main things that I wanted to refute. But I had a lot of other things we could talk about. I know last week you talked about those apples in kindergarten, and I remember those. I remember one time my apple got taken off the tree, and I was so devastated.
Me too.
I was just like killed
But
inside.
it only happened once.
Yeah, same for me. It only happened the once. It was because I was talking too much.
And now you're a good kid.
Yeah.
I think we're about at time though, so
Okay.
we can go ahead and end. So just to plug, if you have questions for us or the podcast, you can enter them at taken4grantee.com/dbq, and we'll read them off and talk about them. Otherwise, you can find a video version of this on youtube.com/taken4grantee, and the audio versions on iTunes and Google Play. So once again, I am Grant,
I'm Ellie.
Andrew.
and we'll see you guys again in 2 weeks. All right, Ellie.
Yeah.
You are the bacon. So just I want you to epitomize. You are this burnt bacon. You're like, just you want to put yourself inside the shitty BLT. Show me what you got. Let's go. Come on. Model. Go. Is that all you got? You're just gonna.
A bacon is like this. This is what a bacon is like. It's a strip.
It's a strip. Okay, come on, Ellie. I need something. Flip the bacon. You are done. You gotta flip the bacon. You're burning, Ellie. Flip the bacon. Flip the bacon.
Ridiculous. Look, I'm just like a bacon strip. This is what a bacon strip is. What do
Come
you
on.
want me
You
to
worked
do?
in a dog pound. You know exactly what bacon strips are like, right? That's a dog treat. Boom.
It is.
Okay. Be the tomato. You're like that tomato from VeggieTales, but sexier. Envision that. Like you and your cucumber friend just going go crazy. Come on. I need tomato. I need tomato slice. You can't eat it in a ball. No. That's the opposite of what I need. I need long, cut, thin tomato. It's not a tomato wedge, it's a tomato slice.
You're a tomato wedge.
You're a tomato having a seizure. Okay. I just need to see your face. There you go. Okay, perfect. Ellie, what kind of lettuce I am? Am I iceberg? No, because I'm not gonna shit. I'm not. I am romaine. I am the romaine of lettuce, and you can deal with it. Press the white circle to take photos.
I understand that. I'm
Take a video. That's not gonna help me. I need feedback.
Should I paint you like one of the French girls?
I'll have my agent call you. Don't paint me. Take my photo.
That was an action pose.
That's a good pose.
They're all actors.
Okay, that's better. Okay.
I am the bacon.
You're bacon?
No, I'm the lettuce. It doesnn't matter. I can decide what I'm going to be in any letter. I'll just do a voiceover and say I'm the whatever I end up being. To act like you guys all messed it up. I'm a bacon strip. This is what a bacon strip does.
That's exactly what I did.
No, a bacon is not perfectly flat. This is uncooked bacon. You are cooked bacon. You got to be like.
Bacon is pretty flat.
It has ridges. It goes like this.
That's a really big ridge for a bacon. I wouldn't put that on my
The
sandwich.
bacon isn't 5 feet tall, Ellie.
Yeah, that's why.
Not to scale.
Yes. If you shrunk yourself down, that would be way too big of a ridge. Bacon. I did it right. I did a good bacon.
You did not do a good bacon.
I did do a good bacon.
I want to see a picture of you compared to bacon. I'll send it to you. I'll put it in this video if I need to.